everyone, welcome to another video with Cass, the Maizuma Games channel. Today I'm bringing you a new update to the compressed storage project. The main thing about this new update is the new Shulker box distribution system. I think the way it works now is quite amazing if you ask me. Besides that, I also worked on a new overflow detection system. I managed to move the Shulker box overflow chest to the same area here for your convenience. The control circuit now has additional logic to deal with pretty much every case of overflow here, including more lamp indicators to tell you what the system is actually doing. And I also managed to integrate a Shulker box unloader, so you will now see your Shulker boxes being unloaded right here. You're gonna get your items sent this proper here, and then once Shulker boxes are unloaded, they're automatically stored right here, where they can be reused to load items inside when you build your slices, which by the way have also been redesigned. The New World download now contains a lot of different examples to show you the different kinds of user interfaces that you can have. You can basically pick which functionalities you want for your system and which ones you don't want. Before I go ahead and show you all the new really nice designs that I came up with, I guess I could give you a quick refresh on what the compressed storage does. So the first basic functionality of the compressed storage is item sorting, actually. So if you place just any kind of item here, it's going to get sorted. And up here, you can see the filters. You see that this piece of redstone dust has been activated, which means that this filter is currently sorting for stone. You want to set up your filters for things that you're usually going to get a lot in survival, and you just want to store in bulk, like maybe basalt or magma blocks. I don't know, something. It's your choice, really. The system requires this 3-wide input system that does a lot of stuff, and then you can have as many slices as you want for as many items as you want. And the cool thing about the compressed storage and where it gets its name from is because once everything here, every piece of storage that you have here, including this barrel here, gets completely full, the system will automatically start storing things inside Shulker boxes. And once the Shulker boxes are full, they're going to be broken and stored right here. When everything here is full, including the hoppers, the items basically will have to take this path, and through this path they're going to get inside this, which is the Shulker box loader. So from here they get inside the Shulker box, and the redstone here detects the full Shulker boxes. This piston here breaks the Shulker boxes, and then the items get inside the storage here at the bottom. I made it so this last slice here is a special one, so it filters for non-stackable items. So anything like armor or maybe enchanted books or things like that will always get stored here, which is very useful since these things don't stack. So this is a very useful case. We can run a little simulation here. So if I place a Shulker box, and you can see that this Shulker box has a lot of non-stackable items here, the item elevator is going to take it to the Shulker box unloader, so you will be able to see the Shulker box right there. So it's currently unloading, and now the items are going through the item elevator after being unloaded, and it's not going to find any category except for this one here at the very end. So your non-stackable items are going to get filtered here. See, as you just saw, the items all get stored inside the basic storage here, and once it's full, as I mentioned, they're going straight to the Shulker box storage here. But I can change this behavior using the manual control here. So by flicking this lever, now instead of occupying these slots here, the new items are going to go straight to the Shulker box. I can show you this by placing another Shulker box full of non-stackable items here. Shulker box is going to get unloaded right there. Now, you're not going to get any items inside this. So we're going to see this comparator turn on soon enough. Okay, so this means that we're getting a bunch of items in here. And because I'm basically unloading a full Shulker box, it means that this Shulker box will also get full. So it just got broken, and it got stored right here at the bottom. The Shulker box here also got replaced, and we just got a new Shulker box. This Shulker box only has 10 items inside it, so let's place it here. Once the Shulker box is broken, it's going to be automatically stored here. So see, the yellow Shulker box is right there. So this basically guarantees that every Shulker box that you have here is an empty Shulker box, at least when done automatically. Once one of these slices here breaks a Shulker box, and once again you can see that we have a bunch of those Shulker boxes here, it's going to use this rail line to send a signal that's going to be replicated here. This works basically like a repeater for rails, and then it gets to this little circuit here responsible for keeping track of the requests made by the slices. So the slices are going to ask for a Shulker box, and if a Shulker box is available, it's going to take this item elevator and it's going to be sent through this hopper line here, where it's going to try and find a slice where one of these comparators is going to be off. I can kind of simulate this by requesting a partially full Shulker box, which is another feature of the system. So let's say that for some reason you want to know if you have a partially full Shulker box inside your system. Let's pretend that you don't know that you don't have any items inside the Shulker box. So we're going to go to your storage system, and you're going to press this button right here. So if you press this button, you will get the shulker box, right? As you can see here. And this box is going to get broken. And if I show you this, see this comparator just turned on. Because what happened was that shulker box got broken. I think it's easier to see if I just do this using this slice here. So now this is empty. We just requested a new shulker box, and now it's going to arrive here. It's going to see this comparator was off, which is why the shulker box was able to find this slice. So now we do have a new shulker box here waiting for its turn, and the system has locked this hopper here, which means it's not requesting any new shulker boxes. And the system can also account for multiple requests at the same time, and even if you run out of shulker boxes, the system remembers that you still need shulker boxes. It's going to request the precise number of shulker boxes it needs whenever it needs it. So this is what I've been working on recently. I'm not sure if you noticed, but when I placed the yellow shulker box, it had ferns inside. But we don't actually have a filter for ferns, which means they end up here on this kind of open hopper here. You need to extend this hopper line, and you can connect this hopper line to any other storage that you have in your storage room. For example, a multi-item sorter. And finally, I added a bunch of features to allow you to have this system as a build and forget kind of storage system. Because it takes care of all the situations related to overflow. Like if you run out of space to store shulker boxes here, the system can deal with that. It sends the extra shulker boxes to this overflow chest here. And if this gets completely full, then it's going to tell you that it's full by turning on this lamp right here. It's also going to stop the item elevator, because the only problem we're going to have here is if this item elevator gets clogged. But there is another system here to stop the item elevator, and there is more detection here if you get too many shulker boxes inside here, and if you have too many shulker boxes to unload. I mean, all the cases I could possibly cover, well, I guess they are all covered with the new overflow protection system. All right, let's take a look at the user interfaces that I created for this project so that you know how much you can customize the project. And just to be clear, the redstone for all of these builds is pretty much the same with some small differences that I will make sure to point out so you guys understand what I'm talking about. So the first interface is the most plain that I could think of, which makes the system completely seamless because all of these chests, they look all the same. So if you integrated the compressive storage with the recategorizer, for example, which is usually 5 high, you wouldn't see the difference. So it helps you in terms of doing your own decoration to your storage room. So all of these chests are going to store regular items, but the bottom line here, the bottom chests, are going to store the shulker box. This next example is quite interesting. So I made it so that up here we're going to store the regular items, and down here we have storage for the shulker boxes, or for the filled shulker boxes. But we're going to use 2 of these rows actually. And the way I made it work is, if you look here at the redstone, you will notice that this dropper faces this dropper, and this dropper faces this chest, right? So this is how we get our shulker boxes inside our storage here at the front. So here with this design, I just changed the direction of the dropper. See how now this dropper faces this dropper, but this dropper faces up into a hopper. So now we get 2 rows of chests for our shulker boxes here, which is something that you might want to do for your own system. This one is a little bit strange, isn't it? I don't know. I just wanted to try something different. So I tried to play with the textures of the barrels. So this is the back of a barrel here. So the wall of barrels. So you just get your usual input chest right there, and you're gonna have your filled shulker boxes only at the bottom here. But I also added these buttons here to request shulker boxes. So if you want to request whatever is inside the shulker box related to Blackstone here, you can just press the button here, and if you look inside, you're gonna get a shulker box. In this case, it's gonna be empty because there's nothing here, and you can just place it back in the system, and the system actually knows what to do with it. I also made a small change here because we added redstone here. In this case, I decided to use a trapdoor here because it's all made out of wood, right? So I wanted it to sound a little bit like wood as well. So I changed the redstone here, and I'm using trapdoors here. I just wanted you guys to notice that here we have a observer. This is necessary for the pulse to get to the system. And this observer is here because we have the buttons. If you don't want this feature, you can basically replace that observer with a composter. This next design is the one that makes the most sense to me, because if you're playing survival and you just want a few items, you can just take those from here. So you literally want just a few items, which is why we don't have a lot of storage here at the top. And at the bottom, we're still using the double chest, because if you really want a lot of items, then you're going to pick those from the shulker boxes directly. And yeah, this is going to get full very soon, which means you're going to get more shulker boxes, then you're going to get items here. And still, these is going to be prioritized. So I think this is a really nice design. And other than that, I haven't added anything fancy here, and none of the manual controls. And you can see the profile here from the side. Very simple. With this design here, I'm basically using the shulker boxes for color coding, which I think is a nice idea. And here you can see that I don't have visible item frames, and this is a pretty simple design, just playing with the decoration here, basically. This next example basically features everything that the system can possibly provide to you. So the color coding, the option to transfer items directly to shulker boxes and turn them on and off. The partially full shulker box request system is in place. The input chest here, you have access to the shulker box overflow chest right there inside the using the trapdoor, and also the lamp indicator for overflow. So if this chest is completely full, this lamp's gonna tell you that the system's full. I mean this lamp here, and this one with the indicator for when the system is sorting things. So it has all the indicators, all the manual controls, and everything you can possibly want in terms of functionality from the compressed storage. And finally here, there's nothing special about this one. It's just the example to help you build your own stuff. So this basically has a glass wall to indicate that you can replace these glass blocks with anything you want. There's nothing special about these black blocks. Let's say you don't have the lamp indicators. Just break the lamps and place regular blocks here, and you're done. Don't need the levers? Well, just delete the levers. Don't need the buttons? Just delete the buttons. So this is how you get your stuff configured. The only two differences I would say is when you want this dropper to face this direction going up so that it can lead to 2 rows of storage for your shulker boxes. And if you want to use the buttons, instead of having composters right here, you're going to need observers facing up so that your buttons work. I'm not going to do a block-by-block tutorial, but I still get a lot of people asking for help on my Discord server. You need to understand that redstone builds are a little bit different. Like the contents of containers, for example, matter a lot. Here is a simple example. I think I can actually start from here. You can see that on top of these hoppers right here, I have a bunch of composters. This is here to reduce lag, and you don't need anything to be inside these composters, especially because they are not connected to comparators. But if you notice here, some of these composters are actually connected to comparators, which means they need something inside. For this build in particular, I think everything is at level 1, so you just need your composters to be at least level 1. So this one needs something inside, this one as well. This one is not so easy to see because, see, it's not directly connected to the comparator, but once the detection here is done, so this solid block is going to be in between, and this comparator needs to read something from the composter, which is why you need to have something inside it, as well as this one. See, this one is empty. This one is also empty because it's just covering the hopper here, and this one is here because there's one item inside it, and we're trying to make this dropper not click. There's a lot of this with this design. I'm trying to make this machine not be so noisy. It's almost impossible to do it because of the design choices that I made, but I'm trying to reduce it. So no need for anything inside this composter here, but you also need contents for this one. This dropper hopper arrangement here needs one item inside, and for your slices, these dropper pairs here require one item inside it, as well as the item filters here. They require this. And the item filters, of course, are going to need 41 of each item and 10 for items that stacks to 16, plus items that you're going to rename here inside the item filter. So for the rail placement, right, you're going to try to place your straight line like this, and then you're going to do this, this, and this is going to break. So one simple tip is to extend your lines a little bit extra so you can do this easily, and in the end just remove these ends here and it's going to be perfect. Depending on the direction you're trying to build this, it's going to get a little bit trickier. So let's try our idea from before. See, now it's all a mess again. So a tip for doing this is to do this in an alternating pattern like such, and then you can extend these lines like this, and then you can place starting from the middle. You can do like this and then remove the extras and you're done. So here I'm using a little bit of math to help you understand how to put together your own compressed storage system. You're going to need one control system plus 2 slices, going to get you this. So see, control system here plus 2 slices. And of course, 2 is just an example. You can have as many slices as you want. So the signal is going to come from these rails here, and rails can only extend their signals up to 9 blocks. So at the 9th block, you're going to need this repeater here. So see, observer facing up, rails, observer put upside down, and then a different kind of rail. So we're going from powered rails to activator rails, and if you need more blocks, you're going to need to go from activator rails back to powered rails, and as such. And then in the end, you're going to need this to communicate with this gray circuit here, which is responsible for keeping track of your Shulker box requests that the system is going to get. The reason why the Shulker box request system for this design is a little bit more complex than what people usually do is because the system does more. Let me show you one example. Here I have a completely full Shulker box, and I can use it to simulate a situation. All right, so if I replace it with a full Shulker box, the system is going to detect the full Shulker box and it's going to break it. See, the Shulker box got immediately replaced with something else. Let's pretend that this happened again. And now we ran out of Shulker boxes. So most systems are going to simply break at this point, and you have to do some manual intervention here. So what the system is capable of doing is, now that this comparator is unlocked, once the system gets a new Shulker box, it's going to self-prime. So capable of placing this Shulker box back there. Let me show you a more in-depth example of how the Shulker box request system works, because I think I did a nice job with this one. So let's pretend that we have this Shulker box with just a few items, right? So as you saw, it's going to be detected by the system and it's going to get unloaded. The unloaded items are going to be moved to this hopper here, and once it's done, the Shulker box gets broken, and then it's going to get stored right here. All right. So let's say that now one of these slices, these nice guys right here, need one Shulker boxes to, it's going to request for a Shulker box. All the system needs to do is just send a signal through these rails here, and eventually one item is going to be placed inside this dropper, which is going to request a Shulker box from this huge storage here, which is going to be transported by this item elevator here. So let me show you what's going on. So if I place one piece of paper here, for instance, now you will see that we get a Shulker box, see, and the paper back. And if we place, let's say, I think this one has to be multiplied by 2. All right. So for 3 requests, we need 6 pieces of paper. So place 6 pieces of paper there. So 1, 2 Shulker boxes, and 3 Shulker boxes. See, this system's so nice, guys. I played with so many complex variations of this until I was able to finally design this little bit here. It's exactly this redstone that we have down here. Let me show you how this works. So here we have a chest where we are expecting to see some items that we're going to request. It doesn't matter that it is Shulker box, okay? So in order to request it, we're going to interact with this note block here. So if I press it once, we're going to get a Shulker box. So every time we need to request a Shulker box, we just need to interact with the note block. So let's run another simulation. Let's pretend now that the system is completely out of Shulker boxes. See? So no more Shulker boxes inside the system. So what's going to happen now is the moment I place a Shulker box here, it's going to be requested, because it remembers that I have requested a Shulker box despite the fact that it has run out of items. See? It doesn't expect the player to always have Shulker boxes available, because it happens in Survivor, all right? And this system, this simple system down here, can only remember one request, which is why we broke it down in 3 components. So the system deals with empty storage or Shulker boxes available, and the item elevator transports it, and this circuit at the top keeps track of how many pending requests the system has for Shulker boxes. And finally, here is an extra for you guys. After designing all of that stuff, and that took me weeks, I was so happy with the way the Shulker box request system works that I decided to make it into a component that does it all. So let me demonstrate how this little machine works, because I don't know why, but I'm so happy with this. So here we have the output storage, where things are going to go when we request for items. And here's the storage for items, so the input storage. So for this example, we are just going to go with Shulker boxes. Once again, we currently have a total of 9 Shulker boxes. So if you want to request an item from the storage, we just have to interact with the note block. And if we look inside the storage, we're going to get exactly 1. All right. So if I click this twice, 1, 2, we're going to get 1, 2 boxes here. And not only that, if I place these back here in the storage, let's say that we want to request exactly, let's say 3 Shulker boxes. What we need to do is to have these tickets, right? So we have here the request ticket. So let's pick 3 of those and place 3 tickets here. And if we look here, we're going to get exactly 3 Shulker boxes. This is pretty cool, but this is pretty basic, all right? Let's now pretend that our system has a total of 3 Shulker boxes, but we want to request 5 Shulker boxes. So let's pick 5 tickets here, and we're going to make 5 requests at once. So now the system's going to give us 3 Shulker boxes, because this is all the system can do. Actually 4, because I think there was 1 extra Shulker box trapped here. So now it has served us 4 Shulker boxes, and we actually wanted 5. So if I place a bunch of Shulker boxes inside the system now, it's going to take exactly 1, because there was 1 pending request. So if you look inside the output chest, you're going to get exactly the number of Shulker boxes that you had requested before. Isn't this nice, guys? Here's an example of how I believe a component like this could be used as a component to a shop system. So let's make a request for specifically 7 items from this kind of shop here. So as you can see here, I am getting a full set for diamond armor here, plus horse armor, elytra, and a weapon. I completely forgot how those are called. So let's make another request here. So 7 total. Of course, this would all be automated. And then another request, and I'm going to get exactly a full set with all the elytras and weapons and things like that. And your storage is going to look like this. You just have to place the items in the specified order that you want, and then you're going to get exactly what you asked for. And this is why this component is awesome. All right, but I guess we need to get back on point so we can finish this video, all right, guys? So this is all that the new version of the compressed storage does for you guys. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much, patrons, and all the guys who have been supporting me so far. The people on Ko-Fi as well, thank you very much for watching my videos, guys. I am very happy recently, despite all the work I have been doing in real life, plus Minecraft. And yeah, hope to see you guys on the next video. Leave a like if you liked the video, and I don't know, just be happy. Have a happy weekend. Have a happy life.